I've been diagnosed with a severe traumatic brainstem injury and damage to the left side of my brain. I also have been diagnosed with P.O.T.S, with PCOS, and with chronic Lyme disease. The brain injury is healing. The fact that I can sit here and talk to you when 2 years ago, right after the car accident, I didn't have much control of my speech or what would come out of my mouth. So my brain is healing, but my body's deteriorating and the pain gets worse by the day. The meds have been increased and increased and increased again, but my body just keeps producing more pain. Before the car accident, I was working for a great company and I was going to school part-time, and I was also volunteering at a research psychology lab. In my spare time, I would dance because I've been a dancer for many, many years. I really love to hike. I love hanging out with my friends and family. I love social gatherings. When people ask me what my symptoms are, if you can imagine everything that you look at twirling around and moving and the walls coming towards you and feeling so dizzy 24/7 that you feel like you're going to throw up any minute. If you can imagine on top of that having shooting pains come down your arms and down your legs and down your back and burning, feeling like someone's burning you or stabbing you, or feeling numbness come. About 70% of the day my hands are numb and my feet are numb, and I've noticed the numbness has started to spread. It's gone down my face, and when it first started to come down my face, it was scary because I thought I might lose my smile. I get headaches every day, and it gets really difficult to breathe. Sometimes just breathing in hurts so bad, but I don't have any choice. I have to just keep breathing no matter how bad it hurts. I can't walk anymore, at least not like I used to. I've lost so much control of my legs. Some days I need help just to move my legs. Some days I need carried because I go so limp that I can't move them even when I tell my legs to move. I've lost a lot of control of my hands. I drop things all the time, and so I never know when my hands are going to give out. And when my brother and my sister-in-law had their baby, and I became an aunt, it was hard because I couldn't hold my niece because I thought I might drop her. With P.O.T.S, your heart rate is really affected, so whenever I go from sitting to standing, my heart will jump about 100 beats per minute, and the average person's jumps about 10. So it makes you feel like you're running a marathon, like you're just doing the most extreme exercise you've ever done, but it's just from standing up. When the doctor had actually read my test for Lyme disease and told me that I had chronic Lyme disease, it was really hard to hear because I knew how serious chronic Lyme disease was. I know that you can die from Lyme disease. I know that I can pass Lyme disease on to my children if I ever have any, or on to my spouse. I know that Lyme disease has your own immune system start eating away at your nerves, and it goes up your spine and starts eating away at your nervous system until it goes into your brain and starts eating at your brain tissue. And just hearing that and doing all the research was really scary. knowing that there's no cure for Lyme disease is just a new reality that I was facing. I had to realize that my future looked different. A normal day for me is I wake up and I take my pain pills and I take a lot of supplements. And if I'm strong enough and if my vision's clear enough, I'll read my Bible. Sometimes my vision's not good enough, so I can't do that. I lay in the dark, in the quiet for many hours every day because my brain injury still has a really hard time with light and with sound. So I have to just withdraw from everything and just be in a dark, quiet room. Otherwise, I can't talk or I can't think, and my pain gets so high. So I have to stay in that dark, quiet room. Some days I have visitors. Some days I go to the doctor's offices. The doctor's has kind of become my second home. So I'm there a lot, and I have really supportive friends and a really supportive family that's just been caring for me through this. So I'm lucky to have them, and I get to visit with them a lot of days throughout the day. The extent of my physical activity on a daily basis would be walking to the bathroom. And if I can walk to the bathroom, I'm pretty proud of myself because my legs give out so often, or I need help so often because they're so weak. So if I can actually walk to the bathroom, I walk like a 90-year-old lady or worse because I go really slow and I'm kind of hunched over, but that's really the extent of my, physical exercise for the day, which is a lot different because I used to be into working out, into swimming, into hiking, into dancing. So to go from, being into eating healthy and into exercise and loving to dance and loving to be fit to being sick and being not really being able to get out of bed, that's a huge change. The longer I talk during this interview, the more my pain goes up in my whole body. My vision's starting to go blurry and everything's moving a lot more. I'm starting to get really nauseous. and my words start to get a little stuck. People ask me how I do this, how I can get through this type of sickness, this type of trial, and I only have one word, and that's Jesus. I've had a lot of people say, why did this bad thing happen to you? You were such a good person. You led Bible studies and were nice to everyone. And why would God let this happen to you? And I'm kind of puzzled when people ask me that because I feel like the Lord is the only good thing that's happened to me through this trial. My whole world was torn up from underneath me, and the only stable thing I had was Christ. And when I'm up all night and I'm in pain and everyone's sleeping and I can barely breathe sometimes, and I can feel God's presence with me, and He's given me the strength to get through this. He's somehow given me joy despite the circumstance, because joy isn't based on your circumstance. It's based on the Lord and the way you view things, and I feel like God's taught me that and given me joy even through this. My perspective on life has changed since the sickness hit me, and the fact that I'm much more eternal focused. I know that I was so close to death in the car accident, and when I found out I had a chronic illness, the doctors knew I could be dying. And so knowing that you might be facing death just makes you think about heaven all the time. And I feel like God's just shown me that this world is a very small piece of our journey. And I used to think that you were born and then you lived and then you died and then you went to heaven. And now I don't see it that way. Now I see it like you're born, you live on earth, and then you get to heaven and you just keep living and living and living. And I think that gives me a lot of hope. I'm not afraid of death. And I want to give other people hope. I want them to tell them that they don't have to be afraid um, to die. I've said before that I wouldn't trade these past 2 years of being in bed for having a miraculous healing in the beginning, because God's changed my heart so much and just softened me towards Him. I feel like He's taught me lessons in the last 2 years that would have taken me a lifetime to learn before. And I feel like I've become so much closer to the Lord, and I was close to the Lord before this. Um, He really was my number one, and I loved Him more than anything. But I think I got so caught up in loving Him more than anything that I just wanted to do things for Him. And so I had this plan on how to help people and all these teen centers I wanted to start. And I was so lost in doing works and doing things all the time that I didn't have so much just one-on-one time in the quiet with Him. And I didn't realize how much I was missing out, because I did have quiet time with Him. It's just I was so busy doing things. And I think it's now going through this, I feel like it is important to reach out to people and to love them and to do things for the Lord. But I feel like that's a very small thing compared to our relationship with the Lord. And I feel like if I stayed in a dark room the rest of my life and just, you know, was with the Lord every day the rest of my life, and I didn't reach out to one more person, He'd be happy when I got to heaven. That's the one lasting thing that we take to heaven, is our relationship with Christ. So I think my viewpoint has changed on a lot of things since the accident, and I wouldn't trade those in for a healing early on. I'm still hoping for a healing. I actually believe that God is going to heal me completely and all the way, but I feel like I'm realistic. I know that that could be today, and I hope it's today. But I also know that could be 20 years down the road. And if it happens then how miraculous, how miraculous that God gave it to me after being sick for so long. So, yes, I do believe that God is going to heal me. I just don't know when. After these treatments in October, I'm really hopeful that I'll be feeling a lot better. If I could say anything to my friends or family who have been there for me, it would be thank you. Thank you for your support and your love. God's used you to be my strength, and to so many strangers that don't even know me that have reached out to me. It means a lot. And to people who read my blog and then they write me or they leave comments, or they say that I'm the one, inspiring them, which is humbling, but I feel like they're the ones that are inspiring me. So I just want to say thank you to everyone, from the people that don't know me who have just left me a comment, to my family and my closest friends who have been there for me through everything. To anyone out there that is going through something similar to me, who has a chronic disease, or who is just really sick, or anyone that's really just going through a difficult time, I would say to them, don't lose hope. That God can bring beauty out of ashes. And when you think your life's ended and all your dreams have crashed down, that's not the end. There's more for you. And God will still use you, and He'll still give you joy if you let Him. If you let Him teach you, and if you let Him in close to you. I said earlier that I couldn't do this without my faith, without the Lord being with me through this. And to anyone out there watching this that doesn't know the Lord, I would just say that Jesus can help you and he can give you hope through this. And there's so much more for us beyond this earth. So even if some of us don't get to walk again or be independent again, or we're sick the rest of our lives, it's just what, maybe 100 years at the most here, and then we get to have millions and millions of years where we're going to be able to dance and walk and run and be in this amazing world with the Lord and with loved ones. So don't lose hope. There's hope beyond this world, and there is still hope even when your dreams crash in this world, because God can make beauty out of ashes.